wait anyway. So what trick do you think I should use to make sure that they always come? Right. Because somebody knows they are going to travel
To start teaching.
from education to here, isn't it? So how do they expect them to reach here? Like use the broom like witches or?
I think they never told
They don't need to tell you. You know you fit in an hour or two, whichever time Sherry is. So you don't. Why should I tell you? Why should they tell her when to stop?
But in Africa, there are a few people who manage time.
Which Africa?
The Africa,
So
someone knows it in mind.
if I had authority, I would kill all of you Africans. You keep saying Africa, Africa. What is Africa? And the African presidents now in China. Today they are in China greeting the Chinese president by bending like this. With all the gold, with all the oil, they are still doing like this. This thing of TIS, this is Africa. I fixed this door. Fred knows. I showed him the door. He accepted that it is now. I'm going to close it and it's now to open comfortably. Then you tell me this is Africa. You just told that I'm fake, you. So don't involve others. Don't try to learn people's stupidity so that you can also be stupid.
There are few perfect people in Africa. To believe that.
So where are you? Are you fake or okay?
As me, I have to put myself in.
Where are you? Don't put. Where are you? You have not put yourself. You mention where you are.
It is mentioned in my book.
Yes, why did you remove our hair? It was feeling special you. We made a mistake comparing you to a body. Anyhow, as these other people come, I would like to announce that we shall start practicals next week. And this should be, when they come is when they will tell me how their manner is. So I was thinking we would do, okay, I was planning, if I say I was thinking, you say you still think. So I'm planning that on Monday we can do introduction to the lab, which is not really that much, because most of the stuff you'll be using, these are the 3 practicals there, plus the 2 robots, the 2 robot sets. I don't want to hassle you out. And then we shall do some tutorial on soldering stuff. That's it.
Can I design a robot as my final project?
You can. Now you asking me as advice or?
Yeah, whether it's suitable. Because I may do it and might subject.
Okay, so now since these guys are ready, I can be. Did I mention something about projects last time? I remember.
Yeah.
The cuisine. Yes. So what is your cuisine? He has laughed. You say you don't know the word cuisine, so that I explain it.
I may not know it, but again.
Cuisine, this word, have you ever heard of this word cuisine?
I've never seen it in use.
Cuisine is like a favorite dish. Like if, I'm guessing that you're in Ghana by name. Maybe a kajong when your mother want to be associated with Kajong, so she decides not to put a job name in here. So anyhow, so what do you cook for somebody? And then they say I ate food from Ghana. Wow, good. So if you were to be here at campus and you are broke, for example, you're really broke, you want some side kick, like to get some side cash. And then the thought comes to your mind and say, I want to go to Sheraton, sell the idea to the manager that I can make Luongo. Tell him, you know, this hotel is in the middle of the city where everybody loves Luongo. And then you say, I would love to make Luongo. But you don't mention the exact problem. Your exact problem is brokenness. Oh, you want to make a breakthrough and make money. You get a point. But you have also to say something that the manager that will buy his heart. Okay, that will make him like the idea. So that's step number one. So step number two is to make it look lucrative. So you must give it a title. So that is the title of the project. So I don't know how you call it, whether it is Luongo special or whatever. You know that when you go to some restaurants, they are talking of French fries. French fries, but these are chips. Actually, it is potato, Irish potatoes. But they make it sound nice. That's why for me, when I go to an eating place, let's say you have gone for a workshop and then you go out for the dinner, I don't ask for a menu. I just tell them, give me what is good. Because they give you the menu, you are seeing even something like a pizza, you find that the name is very, like they add the word American pizza. Why do I care? Me, I want to eat. So you give it, this is the title of your project. Okay, so this is the size of the cuisine. This is the size of the third year project. After the title, then you must give the kind of like introduction or the theory of it. How did it come about? So this is the theory of the project. Oh, which actually is the same as, or so we can say theory. So the theory is like introduction, is like how did this idea come about? The way I was talking about how to really struggle to protect his father's cows until when the flash chased away the lions. Then, so the theory is that you can spice it up and pretend that you were not really looking for a job, and then you start saying, because they are majority here Baganda, they have a renowned function of Kwanjula, and on Kwanjula when you have the Luongo, it is marvelous because it is interesting, blah, 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 blah. But of course, in terms of the Luongo, you can simply say, I have gone. So that is the first thing. You have spiced it up. Then you have to make sure you have the problem statement. So your robot will have a problem you are solving. Lion lights, we are chasing away lion. Now, after problem statement, of course, we always have a common thing in projects and whatever other studies. We have objectives, and these objectives have an overall and the specific objectives, whereby the specific objectives, they have some specific again in them by mentioning the word SMART. They have to be specific, measurable, achievable, very realistic, and must have a time bound in which this should be done. Then after this, after you have explained all these introductions around, including Kuchara, where people want to be traditional, then you must make sure that you give an analysis that you have actually walked around and you haven't seen no Luongo anywhere. And that is the portion of literature review. So you rummaging through the restaurants around town is similar to reading in terms of the project here. You'll be in the library, you'll be on the internet, or Google, to see whether the idea you are bringing is virgin, or is improving something else, or actually, because there is nothing, very few things are done when they are new. But in your own cocoon, you tend to think that this is, an idea came up. I will give you an example. When I used to watch CNN, I got an idea. I said, these people are always, can't I get a wireless keyboard, okay? The screen is there, and I'm typing the things I want people to see. To me, it was like as if it is a new thing, because I have never seen a wireless keyboard. When I went abroad, wireless keyboards were everywhere, so I bought one, and I still use it here. But at that time, it was like an innovation. If I was like going to present somewhere, I said, can't you have a wireless keyboard, so that when you are typing here, things are going on the screen there. But it was already there. So literature review is to make sure that you convince this manager, I am going to share that I was at Serena, nothing, the Kafundas around, no one makes Luongo. After all, these gardens, Sheraton Gardens and probably Serena Gardens are always being used for Wanjura and Kuchana for big people, and sometimes they go, after eating these courses of marinated whatever chicken, they don't get a feel of Luongo. And then you now give a methodology. And then after methodology, of course, you have the results and discuss them. And then once you discuss them, you get the conclusions from the discussions. And where possible, you do some recommendations. And then, of course, there is nothing without references where you are doing all this stuff. So in case, for example, in your case, up to here now, that means when you say you need to be viable, it is up to you to search on the internet, what do you want to have your robot doing? When I do an introduction, then you understand what I'm saying. What do you want it to imitate, to solve? For example, if you remember when I was presenting to you the moon viewing, I showed you the Mars rover taking a selfie on Mars. It is a mature explorer which you make, or which you should have seen me on video trying to make move and test all the sensors. Now, the methodology are the procedures which you normally do in practicals in a reverse way. Here we tell you to follow. In a project you make your own. Follow them and then you get results. Plot the results and then be able to do conclusion and recommend. You get the idea? Then of course the references for this case is, I don't know, you don't need references when you have made the Luongo, and maybe you can refer to your judge who made the Luongo, judge is bringing it to, and whoever made you understand how Luongo is done. Now, the results and discussions in terms of Luongo, if I brought real propaganda, like if a manager brought a mosaic from Bukumansi, and then they say, we want you to test for us this Luongo, and tell us. And the man finishes with Luongo and belches. Do you know how to belch? He belches and says, I'm okay now. I'm okay now. This has been the best delicious thing I've ever taken. Now, if that happens, then it means that the whole thing is okay. Then so that is a conclusion of saying that this is real Luombo. If it is fake, then they will say, please, the leaves you used were not fresh. You used some which are already having, which are stiff, so you need fresh ones which hold the soup very nicely. And another will say the chicken you put, the gobong was not there. And that is what makes the Luombo meaningful. Do you get the idea? And then of course finally. So my question is always, if you have done all this Musei has come and has done his testing, will you get the job? Will you get the chair? That's what you should ask yourself. That if you are thinking of making a robot, for example, and you have made it, what do you want to solve? So, has it solved? And it is not me to determine whether it is. So the determination you are saying, to determine whether it is a viable project, you can make a complicated robot, but you have no use for it. Like it is not tailored to what it is going to solve. You find it is a tough one with all the sensors everywhere. Unless if your objective was just to make a robot that does some activities. But which activities? You get the idea? So this idea came in, I don't remember how it came about when I was trying to explain project to students. It's like the TWINAMASIKO theory, how it came about. I don't remember how it came about. But cuisine, and it helps me, like, again, what is your cuisine? Have you ever eaten a Luombo? You don't know. You've ever eaten, but you don't know. There is this food which is always in banana leaves in restaurants. They cook it, then put it in a banana leaf, and then steam it up. Posho? No, that is not Luombo. That is steamed posho. That is not Luombo. So, do you still have any question? Do you still find your question valid? As the manager, it wouldn't be the manager to verify your Luombo. Maybe even he is not a Muganda and he is not interested in the Luombo. So he has to call. That's why we make you present. We make you present your friends, the classmates, and a couple of lecturers who can afford to be there. Then they shoot you questions. If they are convinced that you are doing something reasonable, then they take it up. If it looks fake, then they will make their comments. Those who have just come, he said if he wanted to make a robot, that would it be viable? So I was trying to highlight for you about projects. Because by the time of second semester, you will not have any time. You'll be worried that you are living in Isimakerere. When you were in first year, you thought you had a lot of time. Now you are seeing this freedom around going away from your hands. And with all those thoughts, and trying to make sure that you finish without any paper that drags you around, then you find that things don't move easily. So what is your cuisine? What do you cook? And then when I eat it, I can say, this one is from Agea land, Ageu's land.
Mostly, the quality Ebo.
Eh?
Ebo.
Ebo. You want to spell it?
Spiced greens.
Spiced greens, any green.
It's from...
You don't know why.
Greens from cow peas.
Cowpeas. So is cow what we call cow? Is cowpeas what we call cow? Or is it something else? That is not it. I have never heard people saying that you can confuse cowpeas to cow. It is not cow. Cowpeas is something else. It's a breed. Peas. Okay, so how do you do it? Is it close to Malapang or what? Do you know Malapang? Anyone here knows Malapang? What do you consume? Spoiled milk. which people? So which people take spoiled milk and then they pretend it is yogurt. Okay, I think we can start. Since Shira, this is your first lecture. How? You have been coming in electromagnetism and now you are coming for the first time. Who confused you?
She was in space. I told her that in space you have to go in space, you come and learn robots.
That is not, that is interesting. I'm seeing a new face. There is another face I met on the way and said, are we having a lecture? I said, I've never seen you. So today I'm closing the window for anyone who is going to take this course. So whoever will register today is the one who will be grafted for practicals and the one who will be able to do this course. And then I put a seat. That's why I delayed to be serious on the registration until today, so that next 4 weeks, if somebody is not decided by 4 weeks, I don't think they can ever decide.
Even in high school, or change courses,
You had courses in secondary.
like subjects.
Yeah, let's first agree. You okay, subjects. You could change from what? From PCD to hell or what?
Around the end of the term.
Around where?
The end of the term.
A subject you have not been studying and then you end it up and pass.
Yeah, for economics, it was not a good term.
Well, you can't come to my.
Yes, they are there who are strict, but there are those who don't care. Come. If you want to come, come.
So those who came late, I'm going to wrap this so that they don't see anything. We hadn't started. So I'm sorry to have darkened the board. You know, slowly by slowly I'm learning how to make sure those who follow rules benefit. Slowly by slowly. Those who don't, we don't. I just want to use the first 30 minutes, which is of course making it a whole hour. Could you, Shirat, what do you think is the problem of that lady?
The one of MK. She might not be the one with the problem because we are ever discussing.
You are ever discussing?
Yes, like people come in front and discuss.
And that is part of the curriculum.
Yes.
Good. And it was timetabled with that curriculum activity in the mind. When I want to come here before 6:30, I leave home before 5:30. You get my idea? Yes, and that means I wake up at 4:30.
So now it will be like if these people are discussing, maybe they take an hour and 30 minutes. Then lecturer submits like for 15 minutes. Then the other 10 minutes, use them to go from the other side to this side.
But do you stop at 4?
Yeah, well, you stop at exactly.
You stop exactly at 4.
Yes.
And you stop at what?
Some few minutes late, 2 or 3 minutes past 4.
And then you take 15 minutes to move from Duke to here.
Around the 12 to 15.
15.
It takes 15 minutes. Come on. It takes 15 minutes to move from Duke to physics.
If you're working on a normal pace, that's 15, but if you try to be a little bit fast, 9 to 10.
I'm just trying to understand. Because now it is 29, so you reached here probably at 25. So she has no problem. She finishes on time.
She has a problem.
You can identify the problem.
Yes.
Okay, truth is, we always leave that lecture room at around 8, 4, 5, 4, 4, or sometimes you can go even up to 4, 9. And then you walk for 10 minutes, okay, between 10 and 15 minutes. And then after that, always reach about 4:20.
So why don't you be smart and present your stuff very fast? You go in front and you say, diameter is this low, then you finish. Say we are done. The marks are up. Don't submit for your friends. You don't know what they do. Minister, is it a minister or what? Minister. What is the exact problem?
The problem, like for example, today,
Yes.
the presenters
The presenters?
finished late.
Who were the presenters?
Not me.
Who were the presenters? They are not here. Shakir, were you a discussant today? Who were the discussants? Who is that?
They don't do physics.
Those who don't do physics don't mind them. One of them. How slow were you? Each one minute. Hey, you didn't even So you were very slow that even your slowness cannot be measured.
But you also began late.
Eh?
But you also began late.
Okay, but does she come on time?
No?
That's when you have already started
But the
using
presenters should have already started.
the
You present with the plan.
That's when you have already started
What?
presenting. She comes late, yes.
So what I think...
Oh, no, don't tell me what you think. Tell me what happened.
No, because I don't think that is the main problem, because in most cases the time when you consider the time we leave that place, it is around 5 minutes past 4. Now the problem, the main challenge is moving from the other side to this. That's where most of the time is consumed from. Moving. So, yes, that is it, because you see right now...
We are going to do an experiment. We are going to do an experiment next Thursday. I'll be around you. When you finish like this, you shall walk here.
It is okay.
And then we determine the time. We shall do it 3 times and then get the average. That average is the one which I'll be demanding to see you here.
Yeah, it is okay. That's okay. Yes, because even if she leaves that place at exactly moving from the other side to this side, it will at least take 12 minutes.
It is okay. We are going to do it together.
Let's go now.
And then we take the average.
You see later becoming 21st.
Then the subsequent lectures, then we take the average for the subsequent lectures. Because given that we change this, unless we change strategy and say that, do you still have agriculture in the morning? Still collided agriculture on Wednesday? Or it was shifted? Those who are always doing agriculture.
Yeah, it went to
Shira, do you still have the Wednesday 8 to 9?
Yes.
And then jump for seminar and then...
Yes.
Okay. Me, I wanted now to reinstate my Wednesday and let you walk the way you want. And then I meet you at 5. That's what I wanted. Or we leave at 8 and I let you walk the way you want.
We start at 5 to leave at 8.
Yes.
We have to.
You have what? Curfew?
Yes.
Where? At home?
Yes.
Instead of what by Tuesday.
By the
The stakeholder.
That has changed.
For sure.
Those days she wouldn't say anything, now she wants to say. Whatever happened in school practice,
Feeling high. She's feeling high.
whatever happened to her in school practice, changed her life.
There will be some.
They must have given that way.
Okay, I'm trying to look for the notes and move on so that I finish the part. But I really, this is the only hour we have. I mean, the only time we have. If we lose 30 minutes, it won't be easy for us to complete much as we shall complete. I want to make sure the course is so. Yes. Yeah, that works.
Yes.
That road.
Yes, you walk the sluggish as you wish. So I'll be coming here at 4:30.
Yes.
Farasi.
Yes.
Then we shall be starting at 7:30. And when will I watch the news? When will I watch the news? No, I fear. I used to watch Catholic and I would be sleeping and I feel like something is... and then when I talk to some professor, he said, no, stop watching the Catholic. It's traumatic. And from the time I stopped, I sleep like a baby. I'm being serious. I don't know. I used to sleep and whether it was a dream or what, I would feel like I cannot turn the head, like something is holding me. Very heavy. And when I stopped, I no longer have those issues. So I cannot watch that stupid newscast anymore. I don't do that anyway, we can still, we need 1 hour somewhere else. We can put that 1 hour somewhere else on another day. Unfortunately, we meet on Monday or Tuesday. Tuesday after lunch, what do you got? How is your Tuesday after lunch? Yes, there's numerical, but it is not from 2 to 8 to 7.
There is electromagnetism from field.
Tuesday.
And
then from 2 to 3?
Nothing.
I have no problem. For electromagnetism, I can even come here when I'm sleepy and teach.
Field.
Yes.
Do?
Yeah, they have
You have logic.
You have logic from
But you are illogical. Okay, who has an answer to my logic question? You don't remember anything. But the question is on where? The video is on where? Okay, you can come and demonstrate. Use combinations and permutations and show us what happens. Don't give us story. Use mathematics. Okay, use whatever you come and use whatever you can and explain to us. Give you a chance to enjoy my audio. Well, you have ever appeared on this, but here you have my audio. You can start. If you want me to remind you, I will.
So I think we shall get 5 meters from this can, then we put it here. So meaning here we shall be having 5, here remaining the 3, and here.
Right properly, I can't see the 3.
So I will get this 5 then part in here. Just the 3 of them. So here I shall be having 3. Here remain with 2. Then here the 3 still remain with. Then I'll get this 3, then transfer 1 liter in here.
How?
Rather, no, I'll get this 3. Now I'll get the 2, then put it here.
Okay.
Make it 5. Here it will be 0, then here it will be 3. No, not this step.
Keep going. Chibira, we don't remember the question. You have an answer? Shiraz, you want to try? No. You have an idea?
Yeah, then I'll transfer this 3 to here. Here I'm having a 3. Then I'll get 3 from here, then I replace here.
How?
Remember, I've taken
It
this.
is okay. It
Yeah,
is okay.
here you have the 0.
You right there. And the 3.
Okay. So here I still have the 0, here I have the 5. So now I'll get 3, then I fill this one. So here it will be 3, then here it's going to be 3, then here you have the 2.
Each customer is going to take 4, 4.
Yeah.
From there. If you don't disrupt the pass. If you want to try, then we disqualify him and then you try. But you can't say from there.
So I'll get 3 from here, then you fill this one. And it becomes 5. Here I still have the 2.
How do you remain? How do you...
Here I have 1. Then here I still have the 2. So I'll transfer this to here. Then I make it 7.
Will you reach? Continue.
Yeah, I'm reaching soon. So here it's 0. You still have the 1 here. So I'm getting this 7. Now I'm transferring first this one to here. Then here is 0. So I'll transfer this 7.
First write that step.
This step. So I've transferred this one to here.
0.
So here I'm adding the 0.
Then 7.
Here I'm still adding the 7. So I'll transfer. I'll get this 7. Then power in here to make it a 3. Look, I can write here. When I make it a 3, here it will be the remaining 4. Here I have the 1. So this one takes the 4. Then I just add this one.
5 days you have survived. But won't you take all day doing it? Does, who wants to do it very shortly? Say nobody. You want to try to make it short? He has done it. I have no problem. He's done it, but this is too much. This is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 pollings. I'm sure it is supposed to be like 3 of them. I don't want to do it for you, because my method is my method. Anyone else who wants to make it short? So what do you do what do you do in logical mathematics? So what, is it mathematical logic or logical mathematics?
True false. True logic gates, then true false, don't fit. And then
Canal. In mathematics. Okay, so we looked at the radiation transducers, and under radiation transducers we were able to look at a bunch of them, starting with the phototube. Then from the phototube we looked at improved it to a photomultiplier, went to a photodiode, a phototransistor. Then I didn't draw all the diagrams that were required. And then we looked at the photovoltaic cell. I had promised to come with a photovoltaic cell, a solar cell, but I didn't come with it. And then we were supposed to look at the barometers and thermocouples. So I will put a stop today on the admission of you guys. And then, what do you think? This is the 4th week. If somebody is not yet decided by 4th week, can't be my problem. Then there is a guy who came that he wanted to do it. I think he's taking it, and he only last came when he was telling me. The other one, we had a chat yesterday, or is it yesterday or the other day, and I don't see him. Maybe he will come at 5. He doesn't know that we changed to 4. But I remember telling him, see you at 4. That's not my problem. So just before we shall use the same manuals, 2 manuals. Then so the one of digital, we shall do the D4, experiment D4. So I'm waiting to close the admission of students, then I draft the groupings. Because once I draft the groupings, I won't allow anybody in the course. But I can allow you to go. Exit is allowed. You reduce on our stress when you're exiting. But admission, that is a lot of thinking that things makes me not be comfortable. And this experiment D4, just to make sure that you know, is about the digital flip-flops. Digital flip-flops. We did them. There was a part of the digital flip-flops, I mean a flip-flop on the D14, but of course to connect D14 itself and it starts working was a hassle. So we're going to redo that part which wasn't coming out for the multivibrator, and then we do the digital flip-flops, and probably in the due course be able to understand a little bit of the operation amplifier. So that's the only digital experiment. It is not that it's the only one, it's because we don't have the apparatus. Otherwise we would have implemented the summing and the difference, then we would have done something to do with multiplexers, the shift coders and counters. The counters and whatever registers are here, the ones which make these words move on a signpost. And like on Kayola bus, that Kayola word moving is because of the shift register. But we can't do that because of the apparatus. But I would have loved to make sure that you do another 10 this semester, like we did last semester, but you are lucky. The experiments are not allowing us to do that. So that is the only digital experiment that we shall do. And then we shall do the E19. E19, the one we shall do, we shall borrow, there is a handout. So it's not the E19 that is in the instructions in the book, but once you have this book, at least you'll be able to have a look through. So I'll scan that and make sure that I post it on Mwere so that you know. Actually, I'm going to scan all the stuff and put it on Mwere for you either to print or use your phone. I no longer want you to suffer with my scanner now is working fine, so I don't think I should make you suffer with the... So this is electronic, this is optics, so electronic devices. So this is an experiment on devices that give an electronic, when you combine electronics and optics. For example, if you have a LED or a 7 segment, then we talk of that. So that is E19. Then the other one is E22. E22 is about the instrumentation amplifier. This is the instrumentation. Instrumentation amplifier. We did a bunch of amplifiers. We did without the theory, so now we shall be able to do Some time back, I had to teach the series voltage stabilizer, which you guys struggled with on E15. None of you remembers what you were doing. I'm sure. You would connect, then ask the technician to help you, then when things start moving, then you record, and then when the potential divider gets burnt, then you are like, it is no longer working. And then life moves on. So those are the 3 experiments that you'll be picking from we shall be picking from the book. But as you know, this course is mostly, we could have done experiment E17 to make sure that we get more about the amplifiers. I'm not in a rush for that. This one of E19, it will help us understand one of the sensor, of the parts of this sensor part, which is the 7-segment display. We shall be able to look at the 7-segment display. The reason I'm putting them here is to make sure that you at least try to please. The things I know, very few of them have I learned from class. The rest of them I've learned them online, on my computer. The moment you give me a computer or a TV, anything that I can watch or a radio that I can listen to and learn something, I learn. I speak fluent Uganda. I came in Kampala in '98 after my S6. But if I'm speaking Uganda and you're not seeing me, you may not realize that I'm a TWINAMASIKO. Just like the way I speak the English, much as it is a tongue problem. You get the idea? I've never been to America. Since now you are in third year, I can now tell you the truth that my accent is American. It's not that it is a tongue problem. When you're in first year, I tell you it is a tongue problem, so you don't laugh at me or imitate me. So I've never been to America, but whenever I go somewhere and I'm buying something and I choose to speak English, I see people looking at me twice. So I can lie. If I was still young, I could lie a lady that I'm a Muslim. They wouldn't argue with me. 100K would be enough to spoil her, and then I show that I'm a typical Muslim. Cafe Jabba's, if you buy breakfast, how much is breakfast in Cafe Jabba's? I eat katogo here. If I have 100K, then we'll get cocktail and whatever, and I'm just speaking my real accent. I've gotten a guy from America. So, but I've never been to America. Get a point? So don't wait to learn from me. You can learn a couple of things on your own, and all you need is to make sure that you source for information. The only thing that you need to be lucky with is the skill of judging what is more palatable for you, and also to make sure that you can avoid distraction. You can imagine when you have got a nice thing to read and then a message comes up and someone is talking something and then you are taken. And by the time you remember, my time is done. You need to stick to what you are looking for. I've suffered. I get the phone, I want to do something, and then I end up on Twitter. Then I remember, but I had come on phone to do this. I'm not alone, I know. That's why I'm warning here. Then the other two are R1, which will be building up an Explorer robot. And then R2, building up a line follow. And then we shall have some exercise or some assignment where you'll be able to build up, arrange some, maybe I should, let's say, arrange a rectifier circuit on printed circuit board. Where the experiment one last time we had it with the diodes which are in this form. There were two connectors here, connector here, connect two others here and another one here. Oh, were they also two? And then there were diodes. I'm drawing symbols. So there were diodes here. And then another diode here. And then you would connect, and of course there were these connectors for resistance. And then I think this was ground. So I can make you do have this experiment on a small PCB, so that you can arrange these diodes now, not in this diamond shape, but in a straight, when they are straight, and probably arrange them the way you want, so that eventually you come up with so that the output here will be able to give us a full wave rectifier. So this would be our exercise, just to make sure that you learn many things in one. How to arrange things, how to solder them nicely. So a bunch of resistances which you used in that experiment, we can get you those resistances. The diodes are available. Then each of you makes that rectifier circuit. The smaller and congested it is, organized it is, then the better you will earn the mark. So we shall have a small PCB. Fred is the one I trust. Fred, you go in that shelf. He hasn't given us which one exactly. On the left, the bottom one. You open there, just slide. In that box, you choose a circuit which has resistances and whatever like a small circuit board with a lot of stuff on it. You bring. Just show me to be sure that it is the one. Then you can take a look and then make it go around. So this one here, you can see how you look and remember and give your friends. Look in front and back. So please let it go around so that I explain what I'm talking about. You look at the back and the front, because when it comes to soldering, you need to know what is at the back and the front before I go on. Just make a round so that when I'm explaining, you can still look around and look at it, but I just want to make sure when I'm talking, you know what I'm talking about. Don't pocket it. Guys, try to be quick. Okay, as others, so since there are those who have already taken a look, so you can see how those, I think there is a transformer there, then there are a couple of resistances there, a couple of capacitors there. So the smaller it is, if they were to give you those components and the board, you might have found yourself trying to put them on a bigger place, just to make sure that you are able to know where they are going. But these boards, the printed circuit board, they just, this one is printed by a robot, okay, by a printer. But there are those which we shall be using are local. They are just holes, like those of the breadboard. And then these holes are put, so side of the whatever, then they are, I don't know what they plate, the copper plated. So each of the hole has a copper plating. So it would be now you. So if you wanted to, for example, connect a resistor here and here, and then you want to connect this resistor to a capacitor here, then you make sure that you put a wire like this, and then you solder. So you put a wire the other side like this, and then you solder here and here. You solder here, but the wire is on the other side of the board. Then you solder here, so you have connected these two places. So the whole board has these small parts like this. Whole board. And then you can choose, it is you to choose how you now make your circuit flow. If it is a printed one like that one, you make your circuit. After making your circuit, then the machine puts for you the circuit lines going to wherever they are going, which we're not going to do that. Maybe in the future when this university becomes, then someone can do it. But for now, we shall be using this. So by next week, the technician should have already got these boards and then a couple of resistances to spoil, so that each one of you can make it, and then I will be able to judge how, even you can mark yourselves by seeing who has made a nice rectifier. So I think to start with, a rectifier would be a better thing, so that you are able to show us that when you connect here and here, and then you put the power from the transformer, then you will be able to get the solar. If it doesn't give us a full wave, then you haven't done it. You can't give any extras. For the robots, I came here with the light follower. It is in the office, it is still assembled. I will disassemble everything, and make sure that you start from the scratch. But don't worry, there are instructions online. So you NXT, one is an NXT1, another one is an NXT2. Using LabVIEW, which is laboratory virtual instruments, virtual instrumentation, experimental workspace, something like that. You can Google, I don't remember exactly the word in full. You can use LabVIEW to do instrumentation, to kind of arrange your thing. You can put, it has a graphic user interface where you can put a knob, put a button which you switch on and off, and then behind you, in the circuit behind, in the programming, you are able to put what you want. So that, and also put a scale if you want, on a graphical interface using the LabVIEW. But then this is one of the experimentation software. The other one is PSpice. So you can, check them out and see whether you can learn a thing or two online. So not in your free time, before next week, that is over the weekend, you should be able to go to the internet, and then you look for the Lego robots projects. They are projects. They are named as projects. So let me see whether, if I Google that, what it gives me, so that I don't give you Lego robot projects. So once you are there, or if you use NXT robot projects, even if you say NXT1 Explorer project, or line follower project. So it gives you instructions on how you arrange your pieces, put them together, what to assemble first, and then the program that you can install, not installing but download to the robot in order to become an explorer or line follower. And then when you run it, then it does what exactly it is supposed to do. I'm using these two which are simple. Even kids can do this. Just this is an introduction. These two here are for introduction. This is introduction to robotics. Introduction to robotics. But I'm not introducing you to robots. I wanted to use a nice word. I have no feelings for you to make you know robotics. I'm just using robots to explain the transducers. You get the point? But you are lucky. In my struggle to give you practical, something practical or applicable about robotics, I'm ending up, about transducers. This is to learn more about applications of transducers, sensors and transducers. The line follower will help you understand more about light sensor. The Explorer has a touch sensor and the ultrasonic sensor. The robots also have a audio sensor. They have a color sensor. Using a light sensor, it can sense and it can detect color and identify that this is blue. So you can make a robot which can sort blue balls, put them together, put red balls on there, on this other side. So my intention is not to teach you robotics. Don't go around saying that you are learning robotics. I don't care. I'm just making sure that I use the robots to make you understand the sensors. And if you by accident enjoy robotics and learn something about it, that is your problem. Mine is to use them for the sensor bit. Of course, you learn eventually. And last time I tried to show you the videos. So these are the only 5 practicals that we learn to do. These ones are a bit demanding. You have to agree as a group. Then I'm making sure that everything is split and disorganized so that you take time to organize it. I even wanted to make sure I mix everything, all the particles, because I had separated them in different cuvées. I wanted to mix everything so that you suffer. But I think I don't know what, I wouldn't care you suffering, but at the end of the day you lose my parts. And then I'm the loser. So I'm trying to save my energy as well. So this is all we shall do. We did a lot of stuff, and if you didn't get anything last semester, that is your problem. But I made sure we do all the practicals. So these are just to make sure that we learn more about sensors, understand more about the 7 segment, which is used in most of the instrumentation. In a display, you cannot miss to have a 7 segment in a display of an instrument, whether it is a multimeter, whether it is that functional generator, whether it is an oscilloscope. You cannot fail to find there 7 segment showing being used on the display. You cannot, for these optical electronic devices, you cannot find a device, an instrument that doesn't have a LED, for example, for indicating that power is on, or a charger that it has charged fully. Have you ever wondered why your light on the charger is red when it is drained, and when eventually it charges fully, the same light changes into green? Do you know how it works? Do you think the light changes to green or a different light lights there green?
Different lights, yes.
You sure?
Yes.
Well, you are sure?
Yes.
Okay, so that will be this one. Then the digital flip-flops will be more about, you remember how we hustled with the multimeter. You are, especially the other one, which the big ones, the ones which are like a functional generator. And then you are looking at it and you are, some of you are like, it is not changing. And I'm like, how? Then some of you had pressed hold accidentally. So it is on hold, one value is there. You are changing and adjusting. The thing is not moving. And so that will help us to understand how do you store value in an instrument. Or what electronics can you use to store a value in an instrument? Or even store completely like how the basics of the computer, and how its memory works. So that we'll be able to come from this other experiment. If all was well here, I would make sure you do like 10 if the apparatus was there. I have no problem. I'm here for you. They pay me for serving you, but we have the challenge of the apparatus. Any question about the practicals? These other three are already there. That's how they look like. And that's how the wires look like up to today. Okay. Still a hassle. So I think E22 is the other one. Then the other one is either E19. And then this one should be D4. Some should be able to be used as D4. And then the robots will be anywhere. I'll ask the technician to see whether we can duplicate any of these three so that the groupings, because we're going to do only on one day. That's one thing I also wanted to agree on. I'm thinking of grouping you only for Wednesday.
Yes.
So that those, whether you are going for ED, is it what you say is ED what? EDE. Whether you go for EDE or not, you still be able to do whatever you want on a Monday. Then Wednesday, we all come here. And Wednesday means what? From 2 or 3. Because I'm comfortable with 2. Then I'm still satisfied. At 3 I'll be dozing. So I want to come here when I'm fresh. And also I don't want any excuses. I eat at 12:30 to make sure that I'm at 2, I'm ready for work. If there are no questions, no complaints, you can complain that we are doing little so that I have more. Very few, that we are doing little, few experiments, then I have more. I am willing to. I can. Okay, so that's it. That will be the next semester. Probably will be with the second years for electronics. So if this is on Wednesdays at 2, so those who do EBE, it starts from what time to what time? 4 to 6. And who are those who do it and those who don't do it? On Monday. Monday group. All of you. So if I was not, so I would only group Monday for science. Science, guys, what do you think? I can group you, all of you, and each one has a set. How many are you? I only see. Muchiri, you are a Duke or science? Is it Muchiri or Chibuka? Sorry, Chibuka. I knew there was a Chi something. You are science, and you are doing EDE. You are what? When the week is starting, you are exhausted.
That man is
That man, yes, so
This one is always dozing. Where do you sleep? You are on the night, you are on TikTok, then they come here, you start dozing in a
TikTok from there.
Anyway, so fine. So this is all done, and so we shall on Wednesday. Do I need really to introduce you to anything? Like we know the rules of the lab for the other 3 experiments. For these robots, I'm going to put for you links for the project material. I'm just actually going to open the links on the web. The links are already there. I just make them seen. And then you check out how those things are arranged and whatever, as I also arrange this man or the line follower and looking for the barriers. And then you hustle. And have you all registered? I wanna see the list. And where is the list? I wanna check out the number to make sure I know how to do it.
I wanted to talk to Kasa.
Huh?
I wanted to talk to Kasa.
Kasada might have known that today I am putting a stop, so he doesn't want to do it anymore. So why do you want to talk to him? So I see 19, so I am going to clock on 20. Then Kasada, in case. Who else has been here but today is not there? No, actually not Kasada. There is a fellow who already registered. And on whether they are actually 20, or someone wrote for Kasada. Let me check. This series can easily write for Kasada. I will correlate the handwriting and you will be in trouble. So we have 1 ready, 2, 3, 4. The experiments are 5. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, 5. So I now have each group. So ladies, can you look for the guys you want? There are 5 ladies. There are 5 pravicals. So I'm sorry, I'm using this hour. I mean this time to make sure that I finish this once and for all. So that from next week we are doing marathon because there are no excuses around. So 5 the ladies. Ladies, I'm giving you a chance to look for because each group is going to be heavy. You are 20, there are 5, so you have to be 4. Isn't that the case? 4 times 5 is 20.
Yes.
So ladies, that is Najuma, Nakugonde, Nabasiku, Nukowe, and Kawarunji. You choose 4 guys, 3 guys, not 4. 3 guys that you want to work with. The ones that give you peace. And then you want to send to me. You send to me on where the guys you have chosen.
Sometimes you choose on first.
No, you don't. Like who? Like who? Like who? No choosing twice. Choose once. Make sure you choose once.
Our prophecy is here.
Make sure you agree not to choose a guy twice. So I want, I don't know about Kasara or the other guy. But as of today, these are the people that are supposed to be in my course. These are the, I've checked, either it could be Kasada for the 20th. There's Kasada, there is some other guy who came for the course, to redo the course. I forget his name. I can check the name here to be very sure. So that if you want his photo, I will give you his photo so that you can choose wisely. The what?
But there will be a guy who will not be chosen by any. It's also possible.
You said Chibuka, you said is who? When did he last attend? Huh? Last Thursday was what? I have all the lists here. I can't find his damn name. Okay. I remember the name on the and I see Tultuka here, but I don't know. Mary. Would you want to work with him again? When I put them together in electronics, she was like, ah, this guy. And he was also like, this girl.
Who was who?
I don't know how they ended, but it was a struggle. The few times I have met you, yeah, I see him because he was there on the 22nd. Sebastian. There is Mbazina, there is Tultuka, there is Kasada. How do you dodge a triple? Whatever the case, you cannot go beyond 25, isn't it? And if you can't go beyond 25, it means you can have 5 people per set. But for now, out of the 20, you can choose your 3 guys. Then you can eventually choose the 4. I mean your 3 guys, so because you are the 5th. And then if numbers increase, I'm sure it is only guys who will be increasing. I'm not allowing any more ladies here. If a lady has not decided to be part of here for 4 weeks, and she's been in electromagnetism, then I'm not also interested. So that is done. Okay? So guys, make sure, the ladies, make sure you agree on which guy to be with, and no, don't pick twice. Okay? So when should I get the list?
Friday, tomorrow.
Is it that complicated? Sinamuli, is it that complicated?
No.
For it is inside.
No. Just speaking.
No. So they have so say that you want to be chosen.
Okay, by Friday 11:59 p.m. I should have gotten your list, so that over the weekend I go through. If I find that the guy you chose may not be appropriate, I can remove. If you choose a much of a friend and I know you are friendly and you are not going to concentrate on the experiment, I'll remove the guys. So choose the guys that will be working with you, not befriending you. Even if you chose a guy whom you don't like, as long as they will be there on the experiment, it should be able to work. Like that Juma cannot be with Beyonce anymore. Hey. You want to see him? When I said that, she was like, she froze like. I'm kidding, you just choose your people. I have no influence on you. My point is, choose people who will help you to do the practical, not arguing or having problems of bias. Choose people who will be group mates for the experiment. That's what I'm trying to insinuate. I was a student and I know how it can be troublesome when you have to do an experiment and someone has to bench you at the end of the experiment. You'll be arguing for nothing. Okay? Yeah. So don't look at me and you think I have never been a student and I don't know the problems. So this is done, grouping is done. Now let's use this 1.5 hours to complete the part of the radiation sensors, so that next time we start on the resistive, then go to the capacitive, inactive, and then stretch towards the communication system. And then for the instrumentation part of looking at the multimeter and the CRO, mainly we will be doing that as we do these experiments here. As we do these experiments, we shall be using the multimeters to do a couple of things, as well as the oscilloscope. Of course, you can see, apart from the other one, that these two have an oscilloscope. So we shall be doing an experiment as well as interacting with an oscilloscope. And then add on the theory of the oscilloscope, and everything should be okay. So we look at the bolometers and the thermometers. And those who came today for the first time, they know somewhere I am not able to connect. I don't know why. I'm trying all sorts of I tried marker.
I cannot spot you.
Hmm?
I cannot spot you.
Cannot spot me. What is your name? What is your SSID? I'm lucky that I know how to make people. You know, when I used to call students in my office to, for example, open an account, and they were all along. They have been, showing off with their phones. Then I put my keyboard there, and then I said, "You enter the password," and they will see the guy looking for, because my keyboard is Norwegian, so you may not see some symbols. So you see the guy looking for the thing, and it's like, as if it is chicken picking thieves. And then I say, but you should be like doing this since you are .com. You should be just doing like this and then tell me it's now done. So when I say SSID, it's like, what the hell is that? Do you know an SSID?
Yes.
SSID is the name of your hotspot.
Samsung Galaxy S10. It's already there.
My SSID.
What is your password? Galaxy system, the password is ZHAKA 20.
Now I'm just trying to log in into Market. And then I saw it. But I have the notes here, so you don't, I shouldn't. But so the radiation transducers are, so far we have discussed, only respond to the very near infrared region. You know infrared region? Do you know infrared region? When do you do microwaves and fiber optics? But you have studied the spectrum. Yeah. So you know from the short wavelength. I mean, I think long wavelength to short wavelength. From that is from X-ray to microwave. Which one is where? X-ray is this way or this way? What is the relationship between frequency and wavelength? Which one? Inversely proportional. So which goes up, which goes down? So the phototubes, we were near the infrared. We are looking at the ultraviolet coming, and then the photons hit on the phototube releases the electrons get detected after reaching the anode. So for example, the current flows, and then we're able to get that signal determining what our switch goes on. The other one was we just still get the photons, they hit on the multiplier, they just get multiplied. Still from the idea of photoelectric effect, whereby you are releasing electrons at the end of the day. And for longer wavelength, infrared radiation, the energy of the radiation is not enough to initiate the process that able to operate our transducer. While infrared radiation has little effect on electron processes, it sometimes causes some thermal effects, and temperature measurements can detect it. You get the idea? So infrared, if you have an infrared sensor, it will not be releasing. You are not making your sensor to release electron, but you are making it. So I don't remember whether you have I have bulbs which have two sensors. So these bulbs are as small as a normal bulb, and they have two sensors. So they have this is not transparent. This is translucent, and then here there is a non-direction motion sensor. And then the inside here, there's an array of LEDs, but here, on the side here, which shows here is an LDR. So these sensor bulbs, if you come, it detects your motion, and then it goes on. Okay, once you switch it on, it lights twice. Then it goes off. And then when you come and you are moving, it goes on for 30 seconds. If you are still around and you are still making motion, then it keeps on. But if you install it on the shade, then because of the light, it never goes on, whether you come and dance around and scare it. Now, so here we have two sensors. And none of this really is related to the effect of the release of electrons. This one is an infrared sensor, a passive infrared sensor. This one, the heating part, is the one which changes the resistance. So when the resistance goes high during the day, it cuts off the current, the bulb remains off. When it becomes dark in the evening, the resistance goes down, the current is flowing but not lighting. When there is motion, then it goes off. Now, these ladies who move around with the lamp, with the electronic stuff, she got me a solar one, which actually can be disguised. It can be easily disguised as a camera. So it is called a solar. If you Google, you'll see it. Solar monitoring lamp. Solar monitoring lamp. So it has 3 modes. You can make it dim, medium, and bright. And then it has a solar panel on top. It charges itself, and there has a battery inside. It has an antenna for the remote. You can adjust, and it is also having a motion sensor. It only goes on when you come near it, like a couple of maybe 5 meters, then it goes on. For 30 seconds, it goes off. So you can see the sensor on it helps you to save the power that you are getting from the charging. It is only going on when it is needed. Now it looks like it has a blinking red light, so somebody can fear that this is a camera which is busy recording. So I put it on my house. I think some neighbors who are seeing it from their fence, they are like, this man now, he put the thing, it may be even looking at our place. But it is just a lamp. So now I want to get another one and put at the gate so people think I have put a camera. But when it is just a lamp. It looks like this CCTV, its construction is like this. This is it has a nice thing, and the LEDs are here, the sensor is down here, and it has a support which you can, and then this is the panel. And it has an antenna, an antenna here for the remote, so somebody can confuse it that this is an antenna which is taking the data to the man, or either using the. So I also got a camera to the smartphone, but I'm still failing to configure it. I don't know what I'm not doing well. I tried the communicating, but I failed now to see the photo. I've looked at tutorials, but I'm still failing. Maybe it's because I don't have time. By the time I reach home, I want to sleep. And by the time I'm here, I'm trying to prepare for you. But the most thing I'm trying to show you is that every day a new product is coming up because people are innovating. The problem with solar is because it is always hard to save the energy. This one is saving the energy because the light is only going on when you need it. You don't need your light to be on all the time. If it is for security, the moment thieves come and reach your fence and the lights go, they will go away. And otherwise, you should be in peace, in darkness. You know your neighbors putting lights on the fence and then your house is all lit up. You maybe even need hard curtains just to sleep. You find light through the ventilators is just you can't sleep because of their light. When someone should be able to be in darkness and sleep happily. So innovations. This one I've already installed it at home, so I can't show you. But if I could order another one just for making sure that I show you how sensors are being used. So this has mainly the motion sensor. The light sensor is embedded in the charging. So as long as there is light and it is charging, it cuts off the lighting. So even if you come during the day and you do like this, it does not detect you because it is charging. The panel is the solar panel the solar cell. I think it is a cell because it's just one small part. is busy trying to charge the battery. So it can just like the solar street lights. During the day, they charge the battery. In the night, when there is no sun, then now they can. Even this one, when you get a black book, okay, a hard stuff like a cardboard, and you cover the panel and you move like this, it goes on. You remove and move as you wish, light doesn't come on. So that's how we use this. That's how this uses the sensor here, the transducer. This one has this transducer and this transducer. But when we now got this part of the barometers, we can no longer, we have the previous ones we have been looking at, we were using the emission of electrons. But if you are within a range where that radiation cannot knock off an electron, you have to look for another reason of being able to be detected. And we are saying we can utilize the heat part of it. And these two bulbs here, or two lamps, they detect yes, if you bring a hard stick and you start moving it like this, it does not detect it. Because there is no temperature difference when the stick is just dry. So it has to be a body which is emitting some heat, then it will be detected. And so that's why we are looking at this one and utilizing that property. So a barometer is a resistance thermometer. A barometer is a resistance thermometer. Which has been blackened to increase the efficiency of the interaction between the radiant energy and the thermometer. Which has been blackened to increase the efficiency which has been blackened to increase the efficiency of the interaction between the radiant energy in COVID, you remember how you would just be moving and then you put your forehead and then they hold like something like a gun and then they say, you go back. You go back, you are too hot to enter this store. So that's an example of a barometer. But they point at you and then because of the infrared it is able to get the temperature. The temperature changes, okay, the resistance material is a metal or semiconductor, thermistor. Remember the word I was looking for when I was explaining that is used on the car and in the temperate regions to melt out the snow, the thermistor. So that's the word that had escaped my mind completely. So the resistance material is a metal or semiconductor thermistor in form of thin films, that thin layer they put on the windscreen. That is the thin film that they put. And this thin film which is incorporated in a Wheatstone bridge. So when the Winston Bridge, when you change values, then the amount of energy, the energy rating in one thing or power, the heating effect goes high, and then that layer heats up, and then after heating up, if you want to hit the windshield of the car or windscreen, whichever one you use, then it warms it up and the dew goes off and visibility improves. If it is within the temperate regions and you wanted to make a certain path, a walk path, to always not have snow. Snow is like a fly. When you see snow, it is not ice, that it is a hard ice. If you are putting on a jacket and it snows on you, you just shake yourself, the thing goes off. It's like if they were to pour on you some flour. It's as soft as that. It is only when it snows and then drizzles a bit and then freezes that you see drama. You see people sliding, and when you fall, no one laughs because everyone falls. And some people die. I think our professor died because of a fall. He taught us electromagnetic theory, which is electromagnetism, which I'm teaching you. And before he finished the course, he slid and fell. A very nice man. They told us that he slid and fell and died. I have had luck. Everyone who has taught me anything to do with electricity and magnetism and electromagnetism has died. I am the only survivor. I'm the only survivor. That's why I'm trying to stop teaching them so that I can survive. The one who taught me in first year, after he taught me, I think after marking our exam, disappeared. Then the one who taught me in second year electromagnetism, when he finished, the one who taught me at masters, that professor, before he finished, when I came back here and I had started on my PhD and Professor Bada tried to teach me. So now I don't want anyone to teach me anything to do with electromagnetism, so that they survive. So I want also to change to electronics and process instrumentation, so that I can also not. So, but that's not my point. Was that snow bit. So what they do, they can put those thermistors along the path where you know that people will be passing, and then someone walks there. If you have been watching, when I watch movies, I don't just watch the kicking around. I watch the environment, the technology, the behavior. I really don't care about who kicked who. After all, tomorrow the guy is like they never kicked him at all. I don't put feelings in a movie. Only one movie affected me, and since then I said, you will never affect me again. It was a movie, or the Nigerian movie, where I had just, I think, bought the my nice TV and deck, then gotten those VCDs. But this movie was eye-catching, where these kids had been, their mother had been displaced by another woman, and then they got sick. And one kid got sick. The brother had gone to get medicine, and when he had just reached the entrance to deliver medicine, the sister kicked the bucket. And so the boy threw away I think he had gone to pick the glass with water to give the medicine, so threw away the glass. It was touching, I felt it. But since then, I have no feelings for a movie. They chop off your head, I see like this. Maybe Bukede, which that academic comfort, but it didn't affect me so much. So the next parts of the notes you add yourself. I'm not going to write all this stuff or film or whatever. And then so the temperature produce changes in resistance. Likewise, the thermocouple and the thermopile are temperature transducers whose voltage change or which voltage changes with the temperature. Again, they are blackened to increase the efficiency. Black, black absorbs heat more. I saw of recent a woman who uses a black jerrycan. She calls it a solar jerrycan to purify water. They are flattish a bit, so you put in water and they are black. You put them on the sunlight. And then the ultraviolet kills all the germs. And then you drink. So I don't pay for water. I collect from the roof, sieve it from the tank. I don't care about the bill. I know every week it rains. My 1,000 liter tank fills up, then I sieve it when it is being collected, it is sieved. So I don't pay. I went for water, for connection. They told me I should bring a land title, photos of passport photographs, then some fee, then I have to fill forms on the online. I said, you can go to hell. So I don't pay for water. Okay, so the thermocouples and thermopiles are also blackened to increase the efficiency by the temperature changing the voltage. I'm just using some simple terminologies to make sure that you can so again, we saw the response times of infrared transducers are long, and their signals are quite small compared to these to those used for other spectrometers. When it is a photo transducer, immediately light shines on the photons. Once they land on, an electron is produced, and then you get sensitivity. But if you come and you are coming on this bulb here, you first even shake yourself. It is not that too much instant. There is some kind of delay. So that's what they mean by the delay time is a bit, and of course the signals are not that quick, they are not that fast or strong in that sense because of that problem. And then, so the response time is low compared to these other parts, and as a result you always have signal to noise ratio problems, and these problems are affordable, but it makes it not as perfect. So that's why for the other solar lamp, you are sure when somebody comes, the part going on is not a do or die. You get the point? The sensitivity, we make sure our transducer or sensor responds if the response is a do or die, that if it does not do it quickly, something wrong goes on, then you have to choose the right sensor. If you had a patient and you have to stick some stuff on them to get the response of their heart or whatever, then you must make sure that that stimulus is able to be picked by a right sensor to give a good response. But if it is not a delicate thing that there is an allowance, if it is a lamp and I want to go on, Yes, I have come, but it is not a do or die that light should come. I could be having a torch and still be able to see what I want to see, but light also comes up. If it is for scaring away a thief, then an infrared sensor like this ones on these solar lamps and this other lamp I was talking about is good enough. I don't know whether it makes sense. All in all, you can choose to. Do you know this plant which the Waganda call it Mukowe? Do you know it?
Yes.
Yeah, that it's amazing. It has invaded my compound, so I keep uprooting. I don't know where they come from. Then they come up. When you touch them, they are like they retract and go to sleep. But that is not their purpose. Their purpose is not to run away from you. One is to invade. Is it invade or evade? I think it is invade. The purpose is to invade the animals which would have eaten it. So when you know how the goats go around wanting to eat the thing and then the thing disappears. So when it disappears, it becomes like a dry thing. So it is not palatable. But they also eat insects. So when an insect lands on, it senses it and grabs it, then it squeezes all the juice from it, and then the remains will. There are these other big ones. If you go online, you will be able to there are these other big ones. They have nature like this. The leaves are like this. They are very greenish. There is another part of this. So they open up. A bee comes dancing, lands on, squeezes it, and sucks all the fluids from it. And then once it is satisfied that it is no longer having any more fluid in it, it just opens, the skeleton is blown away by wind. So sometimes I feel like people, we the human beings, pretend to be smart for nothing. Because animals do these things without ever going to class. If you put a he-goat and a she-goat on an island, they will produce. They don't go to class. they don't watch TV. There are no other goats to see. They will produce if you put them just there. Like if they were very young, he got very young, she got very young, and you just put them on an island and make sure there is no other animal that louses there. They will make children. They will make kids. They will make young goats. But for us here, everything we want to be spoon-fed. Sexuality, education, family planning, marriage, counseling. You get the point. So these plants, I don't know. God created them. They know I have to eat insects. But I can give you the typical example which you know. Who tells the mosquito that that thing there has powers and there is blood there? A human being. It comes very ready. It is struggling like in office. I now made a trip, so they overburdened me when the semester had begun. I had to put a table lamp under my table. So when it's not because I want people to see my nice feet. I am just scaring them from under here where it is dark. But they still struggle and come and want to eat my head in the office. So if the roof was not far away, if my office ceiling was not so high, I was going to put a net also. So that I just sit comfortably in my office without a hassle. Eh? For the whole thing, I would just put the whole of my table should be, and my chair should be in a net so that I sit and work comfortably. It is your life. It is you to care about your life. You don't know how it feels to spend 20 years without malaria when you had been sick after 3 months. If I went to Norway, I would be sick every 3 months. How? I reach home, I sit in the living room, I try to watch some program, then I doze. They hammer me everywhere. Then when I wake up like at 1, then I run to the bedroom. I put the net everywhere, I tuck in, then I snore, then I brag that I was in the net. After 3 months, parasites mature, I am down, no appetite, joints are like this. I go to hospital. Then now they had invented a new way of treating me. Put a cannula here, put me on quinine bottle. In the morning I'm done, then I walk home. Because when you take like quinine through the drip, you don't lose appetite. I thought I was sick until when I had this break of 2 years and I couldn't even get headache. That's when I said, to hell with the mosquito. If I had a gun, I would be shooting them. I wouldn't care what else I spoiled, I would be shooting them out. But I don't need to also, I have the net helps me to keep them. There's at times when you see them struggling, I don't know whether I'm sweet, but you see them struggling on the net, they are really looking for me. So I also relax, I say, you do whatever you want. So now I have a net in the living room and in the bedroom. When I'm working in the living room, I'm in my net on my table. No hassle. If I feel dozy, I just doze a bit. I don't fear anything. When I'm in the bedroom, I'm comfortable. I just see them struggling. And when I get annoyed, then I smack them. And one time someone told a story that a young mosquito went home and told the dad, "Daddy, people like me so much. Everywhere I was passing, they were clapping for me." It was a very young one. Dad said, "You are a fool. You have just survived and reached here. Those people were smashing you. You were just always, they were always missing you." For it was this young, young people. Okay, so young mosquito was happy. Everyone was clapping at me. They liked me. Well, actually they were, and these ones of this semester, I don't know who trained them. The other semester I could smash them. These ones I tried, I don't know, even the aerodynamics. Because I have known the trick, I first I changed the aerodynamics, so I blow a bit. So as they are trying to resist the drag, then I smack them. These ones don't care. I blow a bit, then I see them disappear like this. I don't know, it's like as if somebody sent them for me.
Genetically modified.
You keep laughing. That's how I used to tell students that I watch TV in the net and they would laugh. And then when I would be talking to one-on-one of them, some of them would be like, "But sir, for me when I would sleep in the net, I sweat, it is too hot." Then don't dress. Or don't cover yourself. Because we cover ourselves to become warm, isn't it? So if the net is helping, why are you bothering to put a blanket or even a bed cover? Just put a bed sheet and sleep. But the net being hot is psychological. You know why we can't paint these walls red from psychology. You know the reason. Even if you love red, you cannot paint this inside red because it will feel like it is squeezing you. We use cream because cream gives you an illusion that the place is bigger. By illusion, you feel like if you look there at the other wall, it's like it is the sky, it's like it is far. Make it blue or red, it will come nearer, so the rooms become smaller. If you sat in a saloon, which is as small as this, the mirrors, because of the parallel reflection, this one of, is it what parallax, or this one of parallel, this mirror gives you an image in this image gets another one. So you see it is like far away. So By psychology, psychologically when you are seated in a saloon, it's like it is a big place. But saloons are always like in a basement or in a very tiny, but the mirrors give you a feel that you are in a large place. So it is psychological that you feel like this is a small area I'm sleeping in, then you become stressed, then sweat. It's not the heat, it's just in your... So when you enter net, don't look, just sleep. Because if I find you sleeping and I tuck you in, you won't feel anything. You even cover yourself like with 2 blankets. But when you are still awake. So next we look at the light emitting diode. So light emitting diode or LED is a PN junction. We have already done that. The quantity of light produced in a forward biased junction diode is proportional to the number of excess minority charge carriers. That is the bias current. To the bias current, and then the light emitted from the diode is dependent on the optical quality of the crystal surfaces. The frequency or color is the property of the material which is used. So we get the red LED or green LED or blue LED depending on the material. And since the energy of the emitted photons is determined by the band gap energy, LEDs are useful for low energy display devices such as calculators or digital watches. So circuit symbol, we did this in electronics. So circuit symbol, we have a diode, and then we have light coming out. So this, we are looking at transducers. So we have, input transducers and output transducers. So when you are having when you want to show that there is current flowing in this TV, then you can use a light emitting diode to show you that by it emitting the light. So don't say, now what is it sensing? We are using it as an indicator of the sensing that is taking place. And the majority of LEDs are made of gallium sulfide, GAP, GAP, or gallium arsenide, GASP, and they radiate energy in visible spectrum. Visible spectrum is the you should ask me how I write these things very fast. I know it in my language. Do you want me to teach you my language? Hmm? Which language? So, let me speak it so that I don't tell anybody. So this one was this is the rainbow. These are the 7 colors of the. Let's see, the child has cried by blanket. You violet.
I knew it.
You know it.
Yes.
You knew it.
Yes. That's how it is taught.
If I rubbed it, you will remember it.
Yes.
Okay. So you know my language. So this is how we used to, I also have the one of kilometer, meters, whatever, but that one is in English. And I can't say it here since it is in English. If you don't know, that's your problem. But this is what we call the visible spectrum. I'm able to know she's putting on blue because it is blue which is reflected in the white light that is coming from that side. Then you are able to see. So if you are colorblind, then you can't see what is being reflected. So you will be just there. Someone said, what am I putting on? Then you are like, so this is where my puzzle is. The reason the number plates of cars are yellow behind and white in front is that if the vehicle is the other side when you are, especially for us who keep left. So in front they can be white because they reflect all the white light from your lights. But your lights are not directly pointed at them. But if you are following a vehicle or a motorcycle, if it is white, then it will reflect all the white and it will be irritating. But when these fellas, when this police and whoever is doing it, now they started bringing here, if it is a private motorcycle, it should have white and white behind. Common sense zero, no science. Because when yellow is reflected, it is not irritating. The reason we use braking lights being red is that when the guy slams on the brake, red is irritating. You really realize that this is a problem, it is danger. And then you reduce. When you see the lights increasing red because there is another bulb inside for red, then you know it is now dangerous. You also quickly make sure that you slow down. Otherwise, if he has no brake lights, then you have to look at the tire to make sure that you see it is rolling or it has stopped. Because it is hard to measure. One time, several times I have been confused. You can be in a vehicle and you feel like it is reversing. But it is because the neighboring vehicles, they are moving, so the one in front of you is stationary probably, these ones are moving, so you feel like yours is moving also. Until when you step, you are like, you first look at it is very scary. If you are driven, you feel that it is, especially if you have been in a jam and you are like, I don't know how it comes. So I don't know how it comes, it is unusual as the saying, but it is scary. You feel like the vehicle is going backwards. So I don't know who is doing this, but I have seen several motorcycles now having white behind, yellow in front. Others are having yellow both, white both. I don't know what's wrong with our country. Sometimes there are things I have talked about and have been implemented. So this time, these days, I told you already that I have not posted anything on Twitter, now X, for a year. I will want to finish a year. Then when I finish a year, I will remove all the people who follow me. Because no one has asked me what's wrong with me. I'm waiting. After reaching the I think I stopped on December 23rd. After Christmas this year, I'll sit down and remove everybody because they are useless. You follow me, you don't see me posting anything, you can't ask me what happened to you. So why were you following me? If I don't post for now, it is already September. I have not posted up to September, and then no one has asked me what's wrong with you. Are you okay? No one has inboxed. No one has unfollowed me. Even others are following me when I'm not posting anything. So I will unfollow everybody and tell them to follow me. You first ask for permission and make an agreement. That if I don't post for a month, you ask to say what's going on. But you have understood how we are using a LED in a sense of whatever. So you read the other part of a table of forward bias voltages for high emitting diodes to give you different colors. I'm not going to go into that. So LEDs are commonly used as indicators They are also used in 7-segment displays. LEDs are commonly used as indicators and in the 7-segment displays. Used in 7-segment displays. So that function generator, its display has these has 7 segments. There are 7 segments, so if you can put a LED on each of them, then synchronize them, then you can write your words. But do you sometimes kind of sit and wonder how people have come to invent all this stuff? Or if when you eat matoke and you get sleep, you are okay? I'm mesmerized by a lot of stuff. That's why sometimes I can spend money to just buy things for the sake of understanding how they work. Sometimes there are things I own but which I don't use that much, but I just wanted to make sure I understand how they work. And sometimes I feel like I'm useless to this world when you look at how people are inventing a thing after the thing, a thing after the thing, and then for you are just a consumer. Even your phone you just receive and send, and even to download an app, you first hear that your friend first tells you there is this app. You can't even find out on your own. So this 7-segment, in some books, the 7-segment, in some books, not some books, but in some segments, you find that it is nicely woven. So you can make not a project like a project for 30-year project, but you can make since you are doing things of methods and whatever, you can make a 7-segment to teach mathematics, for example, and connect all these segments here, and after connecting them, and then put maybe have some wire as a probe, and then you have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, the 0. And then so that when a kid taps on 1, then it lights 1. Taps on 2, it lights 2. Taps on 3. I had wanted to make something like a leaf. You know this leaf with this one is what? Stop. Then you have margin, you have, these are called what? Veins. This one is this other one is what? This is the margin. So because I used to draw a lot of roses, that's why I know how to draw these. Whenever those boys used to bring their cards for their loved ones, to draw for them, I would draw for them nice roses. I know how to draw roses. You have this part, and then you make it in this one rich, and then in the middle here, and then after that you have these ones here, and then these are the leaves, and then you can some thorns. They say it is very dangerous. So I wanted, sorry about this, I wanted to see whether one can have like some part where if I put a probe, have a circuit, so that when you get a probe and tap on a name of the, for example, if you tap on the margin, then the whole margin lights up. Whether, is it the margin which is on the midrib is what? The line in the middle. If you tap on the veins, then the veins light up. So the kid can play around learning, you know, taps on. The way we do crosswords, the way you have a picture of potato and then the word potato somewhere, the way kids run those, instead of running those lines, now you make it electronic that they will just get a wire from the side of the leaf and then they put, or you can have a list of oranges, table, chair, and then instead of crossing, they just put on the chair, then the chair lights up or gets indicated that it is the one. Like that. Then they put on whatever, then they learn. So if they first, if they can learn like that, then when it comes to the actual drawing or whatever, it becomes easy. For me, when I'm there, I think. I don't know what you do, but for me, I think. You read. So one day I feel like I should retire, then build my own lab at home. Build my own small lab, put in equipment, and then tell parents, bring your children, we do experiments. All in Nelcon, all in Tom Duncan, we do them home. And then I buy equipment, make a motor transformer, make a motor instead of, or generator. Instead of demonstrating the way I normally, did I draw those AC/DC? And then I'm busy explaining with this thing, rotating it like this. I make a real model. So the kids come and see the thing moving. Instead of wasting my time eating chop here with you guys. And then I charge them heavily. These ones, the ones, these people, their parents who have Kamanyira, like because they got money, they think you can get math and put in their children's heads. So when I was teaching second in senior one, parents would come. We used to call them Baro, that opportunity, that whatever. So they come to me. I am teaching an S1 class. You want me to coach your child. Are you saying that I do not deliver enough in the class? You understand? You want to make your child special, that I go in class, then do double work with your child. How? So I never used to tell them directly. I used to make it impossible for them to do that to me. So when they would come and say, is it okay to help my child in math? I'm the one who's teaching it. And you want me again to help you? Okay, they want to pay. I used to tell them, no problem. Buy your child the textbook, buy him or her the exercise book, and make sure you tell this child to look for me. If they don't understand in class, no one ever looked for me. In the class, you have to be attentive. So how do you ask me that I come and teach you what? Which you didn't ask in class? And then when their parents come on VD, they are happy. You have gotten 60. I never got 40. So I'm like, how do you encourage? Is that encouraging your child? Or openly, the woman is happy. Hey, you mathematics, you are okay. You okay? Me, I never used to get 30. No, I never, those of you who are going to teach, never mention the money to the parent who is going to give you a child. Be smart. So there was one time I was teaching in one school. There was a Mzee who was teaching a class, who was teaching in the same school. He was older, Mzee, teaching math. I was teaching, I think, S2 physics and then math and physics in A level. So some guy, some town clerk or where, which I can't tell you, wanted his daughter to be taught, coached. She was in another school. So I went to the man. The man was insisting, how much? I told him, now if I told you 100K or 200K or 50, and then your daughter says, I don't want to be taught by this command. So he was, because I didn't want to tell him, in my village is now elect. That man, when he would get you grazing in his land, he would tell you to find yourself. You know how hard it is to find yourself? So I was also using that indirectly. Charge yourself. So I told the man, allow me to teach your daughter. Your daughter will give you a report. I don't care. The report you get from your daughter, you give me the money. Of course, that is a gene art, eh? I told this girl, she thought that maybe I'm from heaven. I explained everything. The man gave me money which I couldn't have asked for. Like tenfold what I had in mind. And he even became a friend. When I would come to teach and there are people waiting for him, he's a town clerk. Hey, Musomesa, you come in. Others wait there. So I first go greet him and then I go and teach his daughter. I think I left, I don't know whether how in the world the girl could be now. I've never, I don't even remember her name. It's a long time. This was in 2001. This is in 2001. So she cannot, I don't know really.
Was it Susan?
She was in S3 or something like that. I don't know. It is strange that I never bothered to know her names. Okay, I knew her names then, but I can't remember. And I remember that of Susan, but I can't remember. So we have A, B, C, D, E, F, G. So I hope I'm making sense by showing you how this lead is now becoming an actual good indicator. So when you arrange these ones on a petrol station, for example, now that the fuel is 3,000, sorry, is it 3,000 or 5,000? 5,200. So you will have the other segment. So this one will be a 5, this one lighting, and this one lighting, this one lighting, and then this one lighting. And then after lighting, then you will have a 2 here, a 0, whereby a 0, it is only these outwards one which you light up. And then your LED is acting as. The reason I was, going astray telling you how you are hitting Matoka and these ones. Now imagine how somebody says, I can now light up LEDs, cut off, have this glass part, and then if I light these segments, I'll be able to have a figure. And then eventually you can also have if you light up only this is a B. Then if you light up this, you have an A, this other A here. There is this other A, just like the way we do here, there is this other B here, depending on which nomenclature you like to say. So these, you either have the common anode or common cathode, common cathode as the one. So I'm not going to draw that diagram of common anode or common cathode, whereby you have a common anode linked to all these ones, or a common cathode linked to all of them in order for them to complete the circuit, depending on which one is put. And then lastly, So that means for a LED image, you remember when we were struggling to find out how a LED display for images, like in WWE, how those screens display the images. So that means you have a bunch of LEDs which can show the red part, the green part. So if it is a person's face, you have a multitude of each of those LEDs being able to give a given color depending on I even don't know how TV works. We make jokes when we are eating that these people knew how to make their juju modern. I am here bragging that when I use Maxwell's equations, I eventually find out that the speed of light, the magnetic waves move at the speed of light. So we can use them in Wi-Fi. But how do they move? You get the point? In the village, we have women, I don't remember whether they are also men, who can organize your bones. Let's say if they shattered your head and the skull is shattered, they can do some things and then arrange your bones again. So if it is like a leg, you go for the first time for introduction. So they do whatever they do. Then they tell you go home. The subsequent sessions will be online. So they tell you every lunch time, be ready at around 1:30. And indeed when it reaches 1:30, you're like for 5 minutes. After 5 minutes, then you relax. You wait for tomorrow. Tomorrow! So me, I wanted to modernize it. Get this woman, manufacture a bracelet with a pager, like with a buzzer or something, that an alarm that at 1:30, then pain starts. So the patient has to buy the bracelet as the Kubansko. You know Kubansko? That small money you give for traditional medicine people do not ask for money. They ask for the fee for having gone through the bush as you are looking for the medicine. Me, I would prefer to be a traditional medicine guy. No side effects. If I give you some herbs, even if you gallop a whole 2 liters, no problem. It is not so, as he's saying, I can use it as a side hustle, but I'm still looking for all the herbs. Once I get all of them, then you'll hear that and I can be rich. In the village, we had a small plant. It has small leaves. They are not even leaves, they are just things sticking out. It has roots. Deworming, if you took those roots, all the worms get out. But they have to cook for you like they are cooking for a party. Because you become so hungry, you can eat anything. After just pounding those roots and then you gallop the juice. But you find people that they are going for deworming, taking tablets, you don't even know what you are taking, which are the same extracts Chinese get from these plants and make them in a small, because you can see, you can take vitamin C, which are extracts from oranges. So see me that if I get flu, I take manganese. Just buy manganese, go just through the thing. After a couple of fruits, I'm done. I have no problem. Anyhow, so the liquid, the story I made is because we see these people doing stuff. Even your mobile phone, I will explain Newman's formula. This is because there is a coil in this phone, then there's another. Then they even go ahead to encrypt it. To access internet, you have to first enter a code. But for us, we are there. Imagine they tell me that they are traditional medicine people. You go to his salon and he makes your jaja to talk. And it is the exact voice. How different is that when I record my voice either on the phone or on the cassette and we play the same music? So that means if you go there,
Someone will kill you. What it doesn't work out.
now, I don't know whether you get my point.
Yes.
We neglected our technology. For their technology which they have made look nice. We buy a cassette with the magnetic tape, we put in there, we record, we play music, and we are happy. We don't question how that will happen. But these people, our traditional people, you go to his shrine, he does his whatever he does, then you hear your jaja. Exact voice. So if he could make that happen to stick somewhere in some gadget, and I go home with my jaja's voice, that's the same recording that we do. So we should learn. We should now start thinking of how to make our own whatever. Before the Chinese started taking a moon, is it called a moon? But what is it in English? This thing in how do they call that fish? In Uganda, I don't care about English. Puta. Everyone was eating puta. It was, I think, a poor man's food, isn't it? Puta. You don't eat puta when you have money. Puta is for the poor. Just chop in 2 pieces and then give you struggle with the bones. If you have money, you eat tilapia. You eat big tilapia, you just eat and then you throw away that middle bone. Or even they make it fish fillet. Slice off this part, throw away the bone, you eat a fillet. But now with that thing called the moon, which is medicinal, the Chinese are, the fish now puta is like gold. That fish, I think some white man had just thrown it in Lake Victoria and forced people to make sure it grows, but it was for those, even me when I ate it the first time, I didn't really, it was like some big meat which was just soft, then with that oily part. But now it is a gold, because of the medicinal part of it. So you have to, me I care about, if they told, if my judges could help me do whatever I want to do, why should I care about your God? You understand? So you should respect your own things before you jump on other people's. Before, when I talk about Allah, Shakira would want to, but she doesn't even know why it is Mecca that Allah resides.
She knows. She knows.
So you know. Yeah, but for you know, because it's like you're all pure.
That one is a man of the Bible.
Yeah, I think so. Even Ichibirama seems to be a Bible man. Because when I talked about traditional medicine, he was annoyed.
He's a pastor. He has an hour every day.
He must be ready to a pastor. He was very emotional. He didn't realize that I'm sin, but he was really emotional. He was like, you can't do these things like that. Very sure. So then we have these PCs, eh? Yes.
Like for the petrol station. Okay, the circuit for instance, the numbers, they change. Like, how is this no for a straight design? Because, for example, if you need, like, you want a one.
No problem.
You want a one, you shall connect.
Because do you have notes there?
Yes.
Is the diagram there?
Yes, the common.
A common anode. So you have all these, there is a common anode, But all these other ones, so if you tap A, if you switch on A, if you go on where the switches are and you put A, you see, and put B, put C, put D. So depending on which, okay, if you put A, B, then C, then no, G, then E, then D, then you have a 2. If you flip the switches, if you switch on the A, if you switch on A, you switch on B, G, you switch on B, switch on E, and D, then you have a 2.
Yes, we're talking about it when I diagram like this, but me, I'm looking at the circuit itself.
You have already, the diagram has all these other anodes connected together. They are already powered. Once you close, once you tap this switch here, okay, you have these all for common anode. They are all connected to the. They are powered. So they are common because they are powered. So if you switch on here, if you put this one on the negative, then it will light. You understand? So if I put a switch here, and a switch here, a switch here. So if I switch on this one will light. So A has lit, if this is A. If I switch on this here, this will light. So if this was our B, like that. So if I want to, in this line, I want to put a 5, a 2, a 0, 0, then I go switching on each of the segment. I switch on those parts which I want light, switch on those parts which I want them light, switch on those which I want light, then they start lighting. But if you look at the function generator, which is whereby the displays are displaying the figures, that one is in ANA. It's a lot of circuitry which is too complicated, not complicated, but which is well coordinated. That as you are adjusting the value, then the different parts will light depending on which scale you have chosen. You know, there is a kilo, then hundreds, tens, and then if you are in tens, you find you have a 2 point something. If you are in a kilo, then you find it's 1 point something. Or if you don't put, if you are in, you don't have that range, you find that it's writing the whole 3,000 once.
Because me, I was looking at it, like the way the ports for the extension, okay, for the extension, the ports how they are connected. I realize that there's always that. Okay.
There's one line which
is
is
one line that is connected continuously, and then at the end it's one A, then another one is connected. So like the ports, like the ports are interlinked.
Did I show you that thing? The display, the signpost?
Yes.
You saw how those legs. So the legs of this is our, if you remember, this was our leg. The legs, one short, another one tall. So one leg, this one of the legs, common anode, one of these legs, this, if I can go like 2 of them, these legs are all connected to a common line with power. Then these other ones will go to the other power line by switching them on. So they have a switch. So you have a switch here. So when you switch this one on, when you tap the switch, this lights. So that's the segment. When you tap this switch, this one lights. Until when you finish the segment for that letter, that digit. Then you do the same for this digit, same for this digit. After all, it's not that the price is changing depending on customer presence or whatever, that it should be automated. No, it's you who is setting the price. You come switch on those beats. There are only 7. There are only 7 of them. So you come two for here. You put those which are supposed to light, and then that digit is done.
No, a single lead lights up our leg.
No, each of them, you really look at the display of the petrol station, or you just, each of they are, of course, you can't find a petrol station with 10K. So you have this, for example, these days it is 5,200. Government is promising that it will be cheaper soon. So you have this digit here, this second one, third one, fourth one. So you go switching on the LEDs here, which you want to light. Then here you put these ones A, B, B, E, D. Then here you put the A, B, C, D, E, F for the zeros. And then you are done. But if it is analog, like these which are paper, white paper, no light, you just get the cuttings and push here, put this one here, stick it here, stick this one here, stick this one here, stick this one here, stick this one here, and then you go to this one, stick this outward for zeros, your display is done. But for the electronic ones, this is outward. And this is why we shall do that experiment of E22 to make sure that we get acquainted with that part. So I want to finish this part here in the last 10 minutes with the liquid crystal display. So here you have a liquid. This is LCD. Those of you who have not really put on a watch for a long time, since when maybe maybe since when I came from abroad or whatever, I've not put on it because it is useless. I have a computer, it has a clock. I have a car, it has a clock. I have a phone, it has a clock. I have a clock on the wall at home. The TVs have a clock. So why should I carry something on my hands? After all, my ancestors don't allow me to put on metallic things. No necklace. The belt is not metallic as such. It is just metallic here. It does not enclose me. It does not close. It is not a closed circuit. Like a watch would be. Like this one would be. So it's just here. So we also have ancestors. They are not for, you are now behaving like this guy I was hosted with on radio, and then I was explaining lightning, that it is science, and he was busy saying, this is traditional, it is traditional because the spirits are ancestors, the judges are annoyed in Uganda. So I asked him, why are your ancestors attacking people in Busoga and in Chiba? Because he was saying people have become very immoral. Women are on the streets selling themselves. Then what? People are killing each other. The judges are annoyed. So I asked him, why do your judges go and start attacking people in Chiba? In Budondo, is it Budondo? There was an incident in Budondo in Jinja. So I won the war, okay, the argument, until when lightning struck me. That's when I said, maybe I should leave science alone. So whenever I am arguing, I always put a reservation. I'm like, the judges may. So that's why these days I'm becoming slowly moving towards being a traditional doctor. because I may end up having problems with my answers. I couldn't believe that I can be hit in the middle, almost in the middle of the city. And then when I told my brother, he said, no, someone hit you, and it annoyed me. I had a recording of the thing, but I couldn't tell him. Because I had been recording him whenever we were chatting on other things. So I died in my own movie. When he said that it was a lion bar hit, I couldn't argue with him that you listened to the recording, much as I had posted it on Facebook. When I listen to it, I feel emotion. So a liquid crystal display is an organic liquid consisting of long chain molecules that line up under the influence of an applied electric field to give a crystalline structure to the liquid. I'm not going to write that. You will write that from the notes. But isn't it juju that you have a display of a watch, and because of an electric circuit, then things arrange them nicely. Then it says it is now 8 a.m. And all this other space is empty. All this other space is clear, nothing. So when I used to repair these watches, I sometimes would make fun by pressing like this, and then you see the liquid doing like this, moving away like this. And then recently my calculator got spoiled, so it got a black spot in the circuit, in the display. It got stuck there. I think the organic crystal now became very spoiled and just got a clotting, a blood clot. And so the thing is there. If a figure comes, you find one segment is there, another segment is there, this segment is missing, so you can't know which figure is there. The digit which is there. So you finish this part on in the notes, from the notes, and then we have finally finished this part, which is introductory. I took all this time to make sure that I first get people who want to do this course, and also to make sure. So from next week, we shall really. That's when we are going to do the course. When I'm going to now make sure that we enjoy instrumentation. All this was to first make sure that for electromagnetism we are moving okay. We are on course. But for this one I wanted first to know who is here for the purpose. Not that someone is here window shopping and saying, what is he talking about there? So, is there anyone who wants to run away? So that I cancel your name? Fred can't fail. For Fred we made an agreement. He's got to do this course. He can't run away. So it is time. And the notes, I now have, all the notes here. I will make sure that I don't know when I have a soft copy, but I'm going to scan. I'm going to scan them. I was always looking for that chance when I can do some heavy scanning. So I'm going to scan the whole of these notes and put them on Mwele for reference. Then I have also these notes which are prepared, so you might have been thinking that I'm dodging you, whatever. Then I have these old notes which I'll make available, and then we shall rush through. So see you next